Okay, good evening. Welcome to the Week 8 podcast. Tonight we are with Bengali Bombers, who just bombed the crap out of the Grim Reapers. How
That's
you
right.
doing? How
That's
you
right.
doing tonight?
Oh, I'm feeling amazing. Amazing. What a showing by the Bombers. He scored the second most points for the week out of all the teams. But guess what? Second place gets you. Not an invitation to join the podcast, that's for sure. It was an awesome thing to watch. And the team is loaded. We're looking forward to other wins going forward. But feeling great tonight, Sal.
Very good. Yeah, you and Grim Reapers combined for 158 points. That was sixth best all time. So you guys both lit it up, but you came out on top. You had Rogers to Adams plus Dalvin Cook just lit it up. So in one game, you accumulated 60 points. That had to feel good.
Absolutely. I mean, Rogers, Adams, 3 hookups. Dalvin was cooking. He had 4 touchdowns. Will Lutz, Ebron, Gronkowski. I mean, you go up and down the lineup. Teddy Bridgewater contributed. It was just annihilation. It was carpet bombing, as they say in the military world. Carpet bombing by the Bombers.
That's right. Grim Reapers was left licking his wounds by the time you got done with him.
That's right. That's right. More's coming. More's coming. I'm just going to bury all of them in the basement. So.
All right. Well, can you say that now? You are facing the grudge match this week, who is the leader of the East Division, and he slid a little bit, but he's still putting up points. What do you got in store for the grudge match?
Yeah, I mean, the concept is the same. If you look at the Bombers bench, I mean, even the bench is loaded. Like, think about Nick Chubb coming back one day. What's that gonna do? I mean, for this week, let's just go. We'll continue the carpet bombing, and doesn't matter who's in the way. We'll just annihilate them and move on. To the next week. So if it's grudge match this week, so be it. We'll take them on.
Shock and awe seems like is your new mantra going forward from this week on.
That's right. Shock and awe, baby, all the way through the playoffs.
All right. Now is the time of the podcast where we got some next-gen stats. Your 92 points was a franchise record, so congratulations on that. It was the 8th highest all time. Let's see.
Yeah, that's an interesting stat. That feels good. Good to hear that.
And if you look at the stats, this was your first time in 19 weeks that you have had the most points. So it's been kind of a drought for you being on this podcast.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I've had some decent weeks. It's just other people have scored more. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, no, but it's good to be back on that streak of being on top and getting on this podcast for sure. But we'll try to continue to keep that going.
Yeah, and another one of your most impressive stats, with your number one all time, is this is your 42nd week of having the most total points for the week, and that's number one all time.
That's amazing, amazing. I remember when Dave was tracking 50 plus scoring, and how people don't lose when you score 50 back in the day.
Now you can score 60 and lose.
Yeah, that's true. But back in the day, I remember some crazy record when I had scored 50 points, and it was like, 29 wins and no losses when I scored 50 plus. Obviously, it's a different league, different things now, so 50 is not a guaranteed win, but back in the day, things were different. 50 points got you a win usually.
That is correct. You're right about that. Okay, just to recap, you lead in the West Division. You have a 4-0 record in your division, and you're number 4 in points scored. What is the highest echelon you see the Bombers doing this year?
Well, I mean, look, to be frank with you, you look at total points, and yeah, it's the 4th highest, and this and that. If you only can include, points on the bench, and things like that, and you look at total points, I don't think I'll be 4th highest, to tell you the truth. But again, you count the points for players that you start. So, those are the players you get credit for. But hey, let's keep this going. We're in a good streak, good feel. 5-3 record in first place, in our division. And everybody who is, talking trash kind of has to just make sure that they can back it up, which they haven't been able to this week.
That's right. It seems like there has not been a repeat person on the podcast this year so far. They come on the podcast and they talk a good game, but it takes them a while to get back to where we are tonight.
Let me put it to you this way, Sal. I'll see you next week.
Okay. I got one more stat for the league, and this is impressive. From 1992 to 2017, 90 points were scored 9 times. From 2018 to the present, 90 points has been broken 6 times. So we are well on our way to obliterating the 90-point threshold in less than 2 years. So scoring is up. Everyone is benefiting.
Yeah.
Gone are the, unless you have a bad week, gone are the, 44, 43 matchups anymore. Those are gone. But hey, it makes things fun. And also makes things frustrating because I'm sure, like you mentioned earlier, with the extended bench, everyone's leaving monster points on the bench that could have decided a win or a loss. So you just got to be judicious and see if you make the right decision.
Yeah, it's about matchups. It's about doing your homework, and the players that play that like if you look at this list of stardom sit-em, they don't even bother to mention people like Mahomes and Rodgers, and because of course they're an automatic start, right? So if you have players like that, you start them no matter who they're playing. But it's that middle layer that you can really make a difference and analyze and assess how the matchup is, and that's where I think you win most matches. Rodgers is going to get his. Mahomes is going to get his. Like all the good players are going to get their points, but it's the middle layer that you have to analyze, and that's where you're going to make your bread, and that's where you find the winning. So you just have to do the homework.
All right. Deval, congrats on the big win. Thanks for joining us tonight. This is time for the parting shots. Do you have any parting shots for our GM or the league in particular before you sign off?
I got parting shots. Let's make it for the West Division. I know divisions don't matter as much, but let's make it for the West Division. Every person that's been on this podcast this year has been talking about how Bombers are going to be the last people. Their team is okay. There are so many better teams in the division. Well, if you look at the standings after week 8, Bombers are 5-3 and at top of the division. So, Grim Reapers, G-Men, Psychos, try harder. Okay? Try harder and show up. If you're not going to show up, then you're going to get your ass kicked. So, again, keep looking up. The bombs are dropping, and the Bombers are in first place in the division.
All right. Well said, my friend. Once again, congrats. Thanks for joining us tonight, and good luck on the rest of the season.
All right. Appreciate it, Sal. And shout out to Giovanni. He did an awesome job last week. Good stuff.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll relay the message.
All right.
All right, my friend. Take care.
Okay. Thanks, Sal.